Hi, God. Thanks for the shine. Seriously. Okay, so today's day 7. You know what that means. That means it's the day of rest, right? So we did a good job. We did a good job. So we walked it all the way out from the last day of 7th, which was Sabbath day, right? So from Saturday to Saturday, we walked it all the way through. And then now we rest, right? Now we rest, and then now we know what's up, right? You know, so we're going to lay this track down, right? Because we're doing it for you, God, right? Because we love you, and we're just saying thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the week. You know, thank you for Jesus. Thank you for Holy Ghost. You know, just thank you for the whole experience, man. I mean, we had such fun times this week, you know, just like getting everything organized or whatnot, right? So now we want to do this bit, right? You know, so check this out. You see that? Boom, that says rest. So that says rest, okay? You know, so we're just still hanging out. We're still hanging out. This is the last day we're going to be, you know, watching the house for the friends or whatnot. And then we're going to go back down and we're going to go back home, right? But we wanted to put this rest bit up so then that way we know what's up, right? Scary simple service, right? Okay, hold on. Are we balanced? We're okay. All right, so check this out. This one is called Rest, King James Version from the Holy Bible, man. All right, ready? Here we go. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, okay? 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Remember that, all right? You know, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, okay? Remember, Sabbath means rest, right? In it thou shalt not do any work, though, nor, I gotta get that word, thou, though, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates, man. So no one does any work, right? Remember that, right? Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Thank you. Okay. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls, right? Unto your souls. Let me read that one again, man, right? Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, right? That's where it is, right? And ye shall find rest unto your souls. Remember that, man. I love this, okay? And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place, right? And rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. Okay, remember that, man. That's just showing you what's up right there, right? Everybody's just moving all over the place, right? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God, all right? A rest to the people of God. Sabbath day, man. Sabbath day, okay? Remember that. Yeah, I got Molly, okay? I got Molly. Huh? All right, I gotta go. Okay, we're back. All right, so where were we? Let's pick up where we think we left off, right? Because the wife, she had came up because she was looking for Molly. So we have Molly upstairs because Molly and the other dogs. So Molly is one of our dogs. Like, she's had Molly for 16 years, right? You know, and then I had Molly up here with us, right? Because then there's a couple of other dogs, and then they don't really like Molly's energy because, you know, Molly's just old, right? You know, so they're always growling at her. So we brought her up here so that she would be out of the way, you know. And then we were in the middle of flow, and then boom, you know, just interrupted. But whatever, it doesn't matter, man. That's the power of media now. We can like stop, pause, and then restart all over again. Ready? All right, here we go. Right, I was already at, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly. I remember that one, right? And then, here we go. And he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart. Oh, we already read that one too, right? And then he said, there remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. Remember that, right? For he that is entered into his rest, he also hath ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Remember that, okay? Let us labor, therefore, to enter into the rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. All right. And that's rest, right? That's coming from Exodus 20:8-10, right? And then it's coming from Matthew 11:28-29, right? Then it's coming from Mark 6:31, and then it's coming from Hebrews 4:9-11, right? So that's it, man. We got the rest bit right here down. Well, we're cool with this one right now because we're always going to remember the Sabbath day, and we're always going to keep it holy, because we got some information from another one of the dudes who was just like giving us information about like what's up with the Sabbath day and how the Sabbath day literally like separates you. It separates you and it shows you who follows God's commands and who doesn't follow God's commands. And this is why it's like we have an understanding now, and this is why we're doing it on day 7, right? Because it's like, this is the day that you rest. This is the day that we hang out with God, right? This is the day we hang out with God's people and we just chill, man. We just chill. We just have a good time. It's like right now I'm having coffee with God. I'm having coffee with Jesus. I'm having coffee with Holy Ghost. I'm just having a good time. Hold on. Let me take a sip. Right. And then, I can recap, like what was going on during the week, and then, like how we were having fun. It's like literally, we have a relationship with God, and then this is our time for us to hang out. And then we just, focus. We just focus on what's up with God, right? Like, hey, man, look at this, bro. And it's almost like we're going on a journey together, right? And then now we know how we're supposed to do it because, like before we didn't have role models or we didn't have examples of how we were supposed to behave, right? Nobody showed us the word on, like what we're supposed to do, the commands of God. And then they're so easy because they're in the King James version of the Bible. And then it's like you can see it. And then, now you have something to compare against, right? Because you got other people who take out of the Bible or add to the Bible, or they just use some completely different other doctrine that's not the Bible, right? And then they say, well, follow these rules. And we're like, no way, dude, you're not doing what God said, right? So now we know what's up, right? And then we always have Saturday on our mind because Saturday is day of time. And then the reason why we say that is because Saturn is Chronos, right? Pagan. See, the pagans are always sneaking in there and stuff like that. So even though if you understand how to read and you could say, oh, Saturday, it's a Sabbath day. Oh, Saturday, it's also with Saturn, and Saturn is Chronos, and Chronos is a pagan, one of those pagan deities, but it's the one who was the master of time, and time means to divide. And then God said you got to divide your day, separate yourself. This is my day. You hang out with me and you chill with me, man. You can do what you want those other 6 days, work, blah blah blah, but this is our day for us. It's like you got to hang out with your creator. And then that's just what we do, man. So that's why we were pulling up the words, man. So check this out right here. You see that? Right. So boom, when you look at rest, when you look at the word rest, it shows you what's up. And then we're always thinking now, we track back rest, and rest goes all the way to peace. Right. And then when we see peace, we think of Jesus, and we're like, all right, we got that love, man. And then we were in another dictionary. Right. So check this one out right here. You see that? Boom. Right. So that's the American Dictionary of the English language. Right. That's go ahead and white balance, right? That's Webster's 1828, right? So we have to go all the way back to 1828 now, and then we have to use a lot of the words, right? So that's why we go from the etymology, and then we go to like Webster's 1828 before everything got crazy and they started changing and adding words, right? But that one is just like mirroring the Bible, and it mirrors the Constitution, and then rest right here, it says number 1, right? It says cessation of motion or action of any kind. All right, done. Right, stop moving. Okay, and applicable to any body or being. All right, that's cool. Quiet, repose, a state free from motion or disturbance, a state of reconciliation to God, man. So, already right there, they're telling you what's up, right? It's always about, this is God's day, man. We hang out with the Lord, right? We remember that. Then we got WordNet. Look, I'm going to show you what WordNet looks like. You see that? Boom, that's WordNet, right? So that's another sort of kind of like dictionary, but But this one is from Princeton, right? This is WordNet Search 3.1, and it shows you all the different words. Let me white balance that again. Right, boom, okay, there we go. Right, and then it has, like the synonym, remainder, balance, residual, residue, rest is ease, repose, relaxation, respite, eternal rest, sleep. No way, man, we're hanging out with God, right? And then we got the verb for not move, right? Don't move. But, like there's other people who just don't do anything on this day, right? Like they don't hop in cars, they don't do anything, right? We don't get down like that, because we just hang out with God, right? We're just like, hey, we're going over here, and hey, we're going over there. We're not working, we're not working. We're just chilling. We're chilling with God, man. Scary simple, right? How we doing on time? We're okay on time because we have 7 minutes here, and we had like 3 minutes on the other one. We'll put them together, and then we'll see how it flows, right? But then, when you look at Infogalactic, because we're still talking about rest, right? You see leisure, human relaxation, sleep, whatever, And then we already talked about the bit, right? So here, I want to show you. See this? Boom. Look at that right there. So that says Saturday, right? I always got to show my PCAPs, right? Shout out to David Jose. I always got to show my proofs, right? So Saturn goes to Saturn, or Saturday goes to Saturn, right? That's why we're always saying all the days of the week, they're all named after pagan holidays or pagan deities, right? That's just how they did it. But it's okay. You can have 7 days. It's like a computer, remember? They've just applied an attribute, to a name, a name attribute, like, Saturday, day of time. Okay. Time means to divide. Okay. So you divide the day, you separate it. Cool, man. Rest, right? Remember that, so it even says it right here. It says Sabbath, right? See that right there? Let me show you. Boom. So you scroll down and it says Sabbath, right? Sabbath, right? Because that's just what was up, because that's another rest day. And then, boom, let's delete that. Delete. Right? So then we like this because it goes back to democracy, right? Democracy. You see this one? Check this out right there, right? Democracy, right? So when you got the democracy, right, that's why we're always looking at Timothy, right? Because it means honor, worth, right? To honor, right? Rule, but it's time, right? Timothy, honor God, right? So that's how we play now, man. So here, I'll show you that one too. So when we're always hanging out with the word, because that's just what we do, we hang out with the word, because that's what God told us to do. It's all about the word, right? So then when you see this one right here, look, this is why we went to Timothy. You see that? Timothy, right? So Timothy is honor, respect God, honoring God. Timothy is always honoring God. And then that's why we hung out with Timothy in the Bible. And then it tells us how to be in the church, man. I mean, it's so much fun once you understand how these words are, but that's just what we do now, man. Like we hang out with God. We do this all the time, right? But then, now we're trying to do Saturday, Sabbath day, even differently, because it's letting us know that we're different. Like an example, like Babylon, we are exiting Babylon, even though we live within Babylon, right? It's like America is Babylon. The world kind of like is run by Babylonians, man. We say that because we know them by their fruit, man. Hold on, let me take a sip of coffee. Right? So an example of that is like, we're talking about the election games this week, and then what's going on in Arizona. And then there was a bit that was going on in Arizona, where there was what you call a man who works as a reporter, right? Which means he shows the world what he sees, and then he's like a medium, called media, right? And then he says, hey, this is what's going on over here, and then blah, 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 right? So then what was happening is that, they're counting the ballots still right now, for the election games. And then the election, our public servants don't want the people to see how it's done. They don't want people around there. So then they say, hey, this is private property. We put up barriers and barricades and stuff like that so that people can't go, and then say, hey, let's go, look what's going on over here, right? So then what they've done is that they've used more public servants called the peacekeepers or the sheriffs and stuff like that, and then they say, hey, this is, we put up this barrier right here and you can't come through it, this is legal, this is legal stuff. And then we're like, oh, you're using legalese now, and then you're saying that the people need to get like a media pass, right? Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that you need a media pass, right? Because God gave us dominion over the whole earth, and then that means we can report what we see, right? So whatever any man or woman or child sees, they can say, hey, check this out. This is what's going on, man. And then they can tell other men and other women and other children, like, hey, this is what's going on over here. And especially if it's a public servant, man, it's like the public servants they're just so fun right now, God. I mean, seriously, like they don't know what's up at all. They're gonna catch themselves in the bind, right? Because my man, him, right? David Jose, he set up these word traps, through the affidavit jurat, right? Which becomes proof and it becomes evidence of what it is that we're doing. And now we're seeing that we need an affidavit with the jurat on it so people can go and report the media, right? Because you got people who are media companies, but they're weak, right? Because they don't know how to stand on the law. They don't know how to stand on the Constitution, so now we see that, like we need another affidavit jurat that says that, hey, someone can show to another public servant when they say, let me see your credentials, right? You're like, oh, okay, you want to see me, one of the people's credentials that I can do what I'm doing right now? Here, let me show you what's up, bro, right? And then you show them the affidavit, which becomes a court of record because you're going to swear under penalty of perjury that you have the freedom of speech, and then you have the freedom of press, and then you can say whatever it is that you want to say no matter what, and then you don't need any press credentials or anything like that for you to go someplace to do what you need to do, man. So this is what we see now, God. I mean, it's just like, it's so easy now because you've given us knowledge and you've given us people that understand the word, and then they show us the word, and then we can cross-reference it with what's going on in the Bible, right? And then now we just, like, seriously, we're at peace, man. This is why we feel rested with you. Like, back in the day, I would have been stressed out about this. I would have been like, oh my God, they're doing it again. Like, back in the last time of the election games, they're gonna steal the election, right? And then I was just all over the place and then spiraling, and then they came out and then they did something with, like the invisible stuff, that make the people sick. My nose is running. That make the people sick in their minds, right? And then the people freaked out about that. So then you see the game now, right? So it's really like a movie. It's really, we're okay on time. It's really like a script, right? So the adversary is always going to set it up like this, man, is that you got good and then you got evil, right? And then the people don't know who's who and what's what because they've been brought up in a bad place, right? By bad people who make them think that everything that they're doing is good and legal, right? So whenever someone says, is it legal? Right? We know who the adversary is, right? There's no legal. It's either lawful or not, right? And if it doesn't go back to love, it's not lawful, right? And if you tell people they can't do something, because it's not legal, then we know who you are. You are the adversary. It's so simple now, man. So like when we have our public servants saying, that's not legal, sheriffs. If you're saying something is not legal, we know who you are and we know who you serve and we know that you're breaking the Constitution, and we will get you for maladministration, man. I mean, we will get you for deprivation of rights under color of law. It's so simple now. I mean, it's just really easy, and then you just walk it out real slow, in love, in peace, right? And then you could just take them and then you bind them and then you trap them with the words that God has given us, man. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Done, man. Scary simple, right? Well, that's it, God. That's what we're doing on this day. It's like that's the drama that's happening on right now in the realm. You can see what's going on with your people, because they're just all over the place. But just know that, it's like these are the people that, like, we're trying to leave Babylon. We're trying to be in the world, but not of the world, right? But then we got a lot of people who keep trying to bring us back over into their realm, but we don't play in their jurisdiction. But because they don't know how to read and they can't hear, then we have to walk it out real slow for them. And then we have to do things, and we have to make records. We have to make court of records, so then that way we will trap them, right? And then we will hold them accountable for what harm they cause to we the people, man. Because, the Constitution is the Constitution. The law is the law, and then this is God's dominion. Remember that. And we're just the people who administer it, man. Scary simple service, right? So that's it. We just wanted to put this out on a day of rest, man. So we're going to put this together. We're going to upload it. We're going to see how it flows. And then we're just going to chill, right? And then we're just going to have fun. All right. I'll talk to you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.